Since 1984, the Metal Gear Solid series has been once synonymous with stealth action gameplay. Hideo Kojima and Konami hope to continue in that tradition with Metal Gear Solid 5: Phantom Pain, the 10th game in the series and the first true sequel since 2008's Guns of the Patriots. Fans have been waiting patiently for the newest title in the franchise. Well, I'm happy to say that the wait is now over. So without further ado, here are the top 15 reasons Metal Gear Solid 5: Phantom Pain is awesome. Coming in at number 15 is the fact that Phantom Pain is a full Metal Gear Solid game. Phantom Pain serves as a sequel to Metal Gear Solid 5: Ground Zeroes, and a continuation of the narrative established there. Fans of Konami's newest title might be interested to know that their latest endeavor is actually a composite of two previously announced Kojima production projects, both of which formed a cunning ruse. Set in 1984, the game follows the mercenary leader Punished Venom Snake as he ventures into Africa and Afghanistan during the Soviet-Afghan War to exact revenge on the people who destroyed his forces and nearly himself during the climax of Ground Zeroes. Now don't get me wrong, I love Ground Zeroes, but many will agree that it came across as more of an extended tech demo than a fully fleshed out sequel. Finally, fans will get the MGS game they deserve, leaving anticipation for this title at an all-time high. Coming in at number 14 is the Buddy system. Now with the latest installation of the Metal Gear Solid series, Snake can call on AI companions to assist you in the field. Now the companions' abilities and their effectiveness will depend on the player's relationship with them as they steadily progress through Phantom Pain. It was also previously revealed that all AI-controlled buddies will be permanently removed from the roster if they are killed during a mission, although this won't impact the game's story. And with added companions, this adds a whole new dimension during gameplay. Coming in at number 13 is the soundtrack. For anyone who remembers playing Grand Theft Auto Vice City back in the day, they will no doubt remember its unforgettable soundtrack of classic 80s hits. While it seems Konami has taken a page out of that playbook because Metal Gear Solid 5 will offer similar music in its latest offering. In addition to cassettes being used as audio clips that provide Snake with valuable intel before and during missions, players can search the larger world for additional cassettes that they can then use to create their own custom playlists. It is unclear whether or not this audio can be called up at any time, but like Vice City, it's accessible inside vehicles and other forms of transportation. Needless to say, this is an exciting addition to Phantom Pain and one that we can wait to see, or, in this case, hear. Coming in at number 12 is the Phantom Cigar. Series director Hideo Kojima revealed that Metal Gear Solid has a new day and night cycle that runs in real time. Also, the time it takes to travel from one location to another will affect the time of day when the player arrives at their destination. The cycle also fast forwards when Snake lights a phantom cigar, a type of electronic cigar. When this happens, a digital cycle watch panel appears on screen to denote time. The passage of time enables players to analyze the movements of marked enemy soldiers in the area, such as shifts in sentry positions and individual patrol routes. Similarly, weather effects such as sandstorms and rain will also affect the gameplay environment. Coming in at number 11 is DD. As a puppy, DD became orphaned after his parents were killed by an apparent sniper round and was later taken by the Fulton surface-to-air recovery to Diamond Dog's mother base. During gameplay, however, DD, when acting as a partner, will sniff out guards and herbs, bark to warn of any enemies, objectives, animals, weapons, and hostages nearby, as well as attack enemies at the player's command. Previous demos also confirm that he can distract any soldier to get Snake out of a tight spot by barking. Now with a sidekick like that, it's hard not to get excited about this upcoming title. And let's be honest, who doesn't love dogs? Coming in at number 10 is the story. In the aftermath of the events of Ground Zeroes and the destruction of MSF, Big Boss falls into a coma. 9 years later, he awakens to help lead a new mercenary group called the Diamond Dogs. Along the way, he becomes reacquainted with his former rival Ocelot, and while he is initially driven to exact revenge, Snake soon unearths a plot by the Cypher organization to develop a weapon with the potential to surpass even the Metal Gear system. Now with a setup like that, I'm excited to see what Konami and Hideo Kojima have in store for us. Coming in at number 9 is the Mother Base. In Metal Gear Solid, Diamond Dogs' Mother Base is an offshore plant comprised of at least 7 platforms, each relating to a specific function: command, combat, R&D, base development, support, intel, and medical. Although similar to the base building mechanic in Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, it's far more extensive in the Phantom Pain. Specifically, the player can assign staff during a mission via the iDroid, actually visit Mother Base and interact with it, as well as make Mother Base in their own manner. The layout of Diamond Dogs' Mother Base is determined and customized by the player. As such, it has no standard appearance. During the main story, Mother Base can be attacked in retaliation to the player's actions during missions, such as shooting up a hostile base instead of sneaking into it. However, the player can personally defend the base or choose to ignore it. Similarly, their headquarters can be equipped with various armaments and defenses. As your hub, Mother Base acts as your central focus for everything that happens in Phantom Pain, and with such an in-depth level of interactivity, this will completely change how players approach the series going forward. Coming in at number 8 is The Quiet. The Quiet is a moot female sniper feared by the Afghani-occupying Soviet forces. Early demos of the game showed her becoming invisible, only to later reappear behind the soldiers on board Mother Base. Not only does she have the ability to possess superhuman speed, she also provides much-needed sniper support in areas where it's difficult to see enemies. When arriving at her location set by the player, she will contact them via radio and hum to indicate that she has arrived at her destination. While the Quiet's appearance has been met with a bit of controversy, her character is a more than welcome addition to Phantom Pain. Coming in at number 7 is the enemy AI. The enemy AI in Phantom Pain has improved dramatically in terms of situational awareness. If players use particular weapons or tactics to subdue enemy soldiers, repeats of the mission will see enemies increase in number and be outfitted with better equipment. For example, the frequent use of headshots will see enemy soldiers don metal helmets to make targeting the head harder. Memorizing enemies' actions until you pass a difficult part in the game is not only tedious, it takes all the challenge out of gameplay. But with this mechanic, Phantom Pain changes the game once again to create something unique, dynamic, and most importantly, fun to play. Coming in at number 6 is the D-Walker. The D-Walker is a robotic buddy that can be fully customized for either stealth or combat. It can also walk or run for maximum maneuverability, or, if you're in a rush, can also change modes and deploy wheels to get to your destination in a flash. In combat, the D-Walker acts as your own personal mech warrior, acting as both a powerful shield from attacking enemies and a deadly killing machine with a railgun mounted on its roof. Now, this machine is meant to be an aid during missions more than anything else, but let's just say Phantom Pain isn't exactly going to pigeonhole players that want to go in guns blazing. Coming in at number 5 is the multiplayer. When the player has reached a certain point in the game, the multiplayer mode will become available. One of the known modes is Invader versus Defender, where one player invades another player's base and tries to steal their equipment and personnel. Once the invader is spotted, they will have a red radius on the iDroid map that shows their last known location. A timer will then show how much time they have before the base is surrounded. During this time, the guards will hunt for the invader. However, they may get wounded and need to be lifted to the medical strut before they die. Invader vs. Defender will also allow players to use a wide range of gadgets. Even with a large army helping the defender, it can still be challenging due to the fact that each base is very large, and there's only one person that needs to be found. Coming in at number 4 is the free roam mode. A new game design direction in Phantom Pain allows the player to choose in what order the story events take place, by selecting missions in any order they like. Hideo Kojima has spoken out about the restrictive nature of previous MGS titles, saying that they set the player on one rail to get from point A to point B with a certain amount of freedom in between. Not only will the playable world in Phantom Pain be 200 times larger than that of Ground Zeroes, but will also allow players to freely roam the map while proceeding to either story missions or side quests. In addition, players who have previously played Ground Zeroes will be able to import saved data into Phantom Pain and gain special perks. Now, we've always enjoyed the stealth gameplay featured in the Metal Gear series, but this new shift from linear to sandbox-style gameplay is a welcome change for the franchise. Coming in at number 3 is the weapons. As in previous titles, all parts of each weapon in Phantom Pain is fully customizable to your specifications. However, one really cool feature is the ability to exchange all modifications between guns to create your own fully customized weapon, making the options for gun creation virtually limitless. New modifications are created by collecting blueprints in the larger game world, but guns can also be collected from fallen enemies and stockpiled for later use. While choosing a proper arsenal has always been key to your success, Phantom Pain finds new ways to make gameplay not only innovative, but strategic as well. Coming in at number 2 is the Fulton Surface-to-Air Recovery System. The Fulton Surface-to-Air Recovery System was an item first introduced in Peace Walker, but returns again in Phantom Pain, with players now able to transport captured soldiers and other objects such as animals, vehicles, and artillery back to their mother base. In the game, the inflatable helium balloon lifts soldiers into the air, where they are then carried off-site by a helicopter. As in previous demos, the recovery system can also be used as a weapon, as seen lifting heavy objects into an airborne helicopter, ultimately taking it down. Similarly, by lifting heavy objects off the ground, the system can also be implemented to lift Snake high off the ground. Now, we always knew that Phantom Pain would deliver on some new, innovative features during gameplay, and the Fulton Surface-to-Air Recovery System definitely qualifies as one of them. And coming in at number 1 are the various modes of gameplay offered in Metal Gear Solid 5. The gameplay elements of Phantom Pain are largely unchanged from that of Ground Zeroes, meaning that players will have to sneak from various points in the game world, avoiding enemy guards and remaining undetected. Now, this reason was initially going to be stealth gameplay. However, upon viewing the various demos out there, it became apparently clear that Phantom Pain won't pigeonhole the player to be stealthy if that's how they want to play. A video published after E3 2015 showcased this, with the same mission played 4 times in a number of different ways, with the player opting for stealth, launching a direct attack via a helicopter gunship, attempting to assassinate a target with a sniper rifle, and smuggling an explosive device into an enemy base by way of an unsuspecting convoy. Now, I don't know what else to say on this matter, so in the meantime, I highly suggest that if you haven't seen these demos currently on the market, do yourself a favor and check them out for yourself. I guarantee you won't be disappointed. And there you have it, the top 15 reasons why Metal Gear Solid The Phantom Pain is awesome. Now, maybe I've left a reason off this list. Maybe you have a reason for liking The Phantom Pain that didn't make my list. In that case, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below, and as always, feel free to subscribe to my channel and like this video. That being said, I'm the Millennium Gamer, signing off. It's clear that at E3 2015, Bethesda came out on top with lead game director Todd Howard wowing audiences near and far with a game presentation that will be talked about for years. Needless to say, the presentation whetted our appetite for this title. So without further ado, here are the top 15 reasons why Fallout 4 is the bomb.